right time. But welcome. My name is Jariva. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm happy to be with you this afternoon for our For the Village Soul-Filled Sunday. I am here to guide you on a meditation and yoga asana practice accompanied by the drum. And so I will be leading that portion of the session. I'll let Tim introduce himself and tell you all about himself shortly. But let me give you a little bit more information about the organization BeFor Collective that Tim and I founded. Our mission is to provide healing to the disadvantaged, disenfranchised, and marginalized through ancient wisdom, traditions, teachings, and ways of living. And we do that through our various programs, which include our BeFor the Village program, where we provide free community offerings. And this is one of those, Soul-Filled Sunday. We also offer our meditation classes Monday evenings, as well as yoga asana classes on Thursday evenings and Saturday mornings. So all that information is available for you on our website, BeForCollective.com. So I hope you visit and you decide to participate with us in whatever feels right and comfortable for you. So welcome. We are happy to have you here. I'm going to turn it over to Tim, move our camera, spotlight him, and let him tell you a little bit about himself and what he's here to guide us on today. So again, thank you. We appreciate you both being here.
Good afternoon. My name is Tim. My pronouns are he and him. Again, we're so happy to have you join us today. I am going to do a quick refresher over the drum that I have in front of me, and then I'm going to talk about two rhythms, play those two rhythms for you, and then we will keep moving. So, the drum we have today is the djembe. Comes to us out of West Africa. The countries are Guinea, Mali, Senegal, Ivory Coast commonly. Guinea-Bissau is also included sometimes, but it's if you look at an old world map of Africa, you'll see the Mali Empire, and it's the countries that appear in the map today that we're talking about. The drum is made out of wood, so it comes from a tree. I don't know exactly the tree wood for this particular drum, but I have others that are made out of kasha wood is my favorite drum. It's a hardwood that sounds amazing. It's hollowed out. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's hollowed out by master craftsmen, the blacksmiths in West Africa. This drum actually came from Mali, and we can tell that may not show up good on camera, but along the bottom there are chevrons and carvings that are typical for Mali. On top of the drum we have goat skin, typically, but it can also have calf skin. Calf skin is a little more durable, so it'll last a little longer. And then we use a 3-ring system. There are 2 rings here on the top, 1 ring on the bottom, and then if you can see the detail on my drum, there are ropes. Get real close. The ropes here are what we use to tune it, and along the bottom here you see a special pattern, and that's actually called a Mali weave system, and it's what we use to actually tune the drum. So as I pull and put knots into my drum, it brings the tension of the drum head up, and so that's how we tune it. A lot of drummers will tune it to their particular preference. The lead drummer will typically have his drum tuned very, very high because he wants the signals to be heard and sharp to dancers or whoever we're performing for. It's better.
Is it clear?
It's better. So they'll tune
Sorry,
it.
sorry to interrupt, but I would like to say that it looked like a shine of light coming down from the source above onto you, Tim, in your drum. I was enjoying that beam of light coming down.
You can see the chevrons along the bottom of my drum. So this, when you see this chevron pattern, you know that you're looking at a drum from Mali. Along the bottom here, you can see the bottom ring that I was talking about, and here on the top. One ring you can't see, but the stainless steel ring on top you can see. And so those three are connected. And then again, here on the bottom, we have our Mali weave system. And then you can see here, actually in here, it's kind of where I am currently pulling knots. So if I need to tune my drum, I'm going to pull these next couple of ropes together to add tension to my drum. So that's the djembe, how it's constructed. The djembe has three basic tones that we teach. The first is a bass note. We make that note by simply closing up our hand and striking the center of the drum. We tell you when you play the drum that it's almost like clapping. So the same force and time that my hands are together during a clap is the same thing that you want on your drum, because we want the sound to resonate. If I hold my hand on it, it doesn't allow the sound to come out through the bottom and resonate. Second note is a tone note, sometimes called a voice note, that's made on the front edge of the drum, and I'm using really just the fingers to make these sounds. For the tone note, I keep my hand flat, keep my fingers closely together, and strike the center of the drum. That's the tone. The last note is a slap note. It's made in the exact same position. The difference is I relax my hands and I kind of keep my fingers separated and not as flat, so that I can. And so the difference between the tone and the slap is, or tone, and you have to work at it. That is the distinction between slaps and tones is something that drummers work on forever. You know, one of the notes that I get from my director is, Tim, you've got to, you know, practice 20 minutes a day and just sit here and just play slaps and tones until I can hear a difference. So my hands are cold today, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. So I want to talk about two rhythms today, introduce you to them. They come from Guinea, and they're called Yankadi and Makru. The two rhythms are played together typically. Yankadi is a courtship rhythm, and it's typically played slower than Makru. When we talk about it, we say that the rhythms are played in social settings, and the elders will dance first to Yankadi, and while the elders are dancing, the young people are checking each other out to see how they're going to couple up, at least for the dance of Makru. And then when the elders are done dancing, the rhythm speeds up, and then we play Makru, and then think of Soul Train and everybody just trying to show off their dance moves and show off their stuff. And so it's not necessarily a competition, but it's where the young people can just shine. So the break, there's a signal in the music called the break, and that tells musicians, the audience, dancers, that we're going to either stop, start, or change something in the rhythm. So Yankadi has one break and Makru has another. The break for Yankadi sounds like this. That's tone, tone, slap, tone, tone, slap, tone, tone, slap, 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 slap. The break for Makru is just 4 tones. And then I'll play them again as I get ready to introduce each part. So for Yankadi, I'm just going to play 1 or 2 of the rhythms. You'll hear Yankadi accompaniment parts play throughout yoga. I really like it. It's a nice 6/8 rhythm. It's not too busy so that I'm not too distracting as we get into the yoga practice a little later. But here is Yankadi for you. finish Yankee, and as soon as I finished that to go into Makru, the lead drummer would play, and then there's a beginning phrase, like a breakdown that goes with Makru. Anytime you hear it, you're probably going to hear it start this way, and then I'll stop again and let you know when it's over, and then go into, this is what the first accompaniment part sounds like. So the beginning breakdown is going to be, so the first series, it's the same thing played twice, but the first time we play all tones, the second time we play all slaps. So I'll put those two together, and then when I finish that, I'm going to pause just briefly, and then I'm going to go into the rhythm so you can get the distinction between the break and the initial breakdown, and then me going into the rhythm. So, from the break. Okay? So what I like about Makru is when we describe bass tone slap, that's one of the rhythms that we play where you can hear all of that. I'm playing the bass with my left hand, and then with my right hand, I'm alternating between tones and slaps. I can't do it singly, but... Okay? So now I want to put them all together for you and play just a short bit of each rhythm to just show you how the two rhythms go together seamlessly, and then you can imagine a ceremony where we have our elders and our young people celebrating together in a social setting. So here we go. So there we have Yankee and Makru, our courtship seduction dance from Guinea, West Africa. It's also it's a rhythm and a celebration that's done typically under the full moon, is what I'm trying to say. So whenever there's a full moon in West Africa, you can find Yankee and Makru played in celebrations in the middle of the night, because that's the time that we celebrate with these two rhythms. So thank you. If you have questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them for you. If not, I'll turn it back to Teresa.
Thank you. So I will face this camera and get on my mat. But thank you, Tim, for that, for leading us on that drum talk, learning about these two rhythms and the aspect of celebration and talking about celebration. So we have a theme. We usually have a monthly theme. And so we have been focusing on the yamas, which are principles or ways that you walk through life to not only to honor yourself, but to honor others. They're the first limb of the yogic practice. And so we've been focusing on each one each month. And there are 5. So we are in our 5th and final month. We are focusing on the yama aparigraha, which is non-possessiveness. So allowing yourself to let go, to live fully from a state of joy, peace, and freedom. And so these last 2 yamas, the one last month for September was brahmacharya, which is not excess. So allowing yourself to live from a state of moderation to experience the sacred and the divine, and the divinity of life and the divinity of yourself. And so what I love about these last two yamas is that it's really about celebrating life. It's really about celebrating you and walking in your sacredness and your divinity. So as Tim talked to us about these two rhythms that honored this time of celebration and coming together, I want us really to stand in a moment of celebration of ourselves and a celebration of the sacredness of this life experience, this walk that we're on right here, right now. And so we're going to move into meditation in that. And so I invite you to come onto your mat and to find something in your body that feels right. Whatever position, whatever posture that is, move into that now. That may be sitting crisscross applesauce. That may be lying on your back in Shavasana. That may be legs up the wall. Whatever that is, whatever brings joy, peace, comfort, and freedom to your spirit and to your body, move into that posture now. Allow everything that has happened before this moment, anything that's going to happen after this moment, to just dissipate and fall away. And just be present right here, right now. Listening to my voice, listening to the drum. And if it feels safe, I invite you to close your eyes as if you were going off into a peaceful slumber. And just be. The breath, our powerful ally, our greatest friend, guides, directs, and supports us each and every minute of each and every day. Allow your friend, the breath, the inhale, the exhale, to take you deeper into you. Recognizing that each time that you inhale, you are taking in all that you need to serve and nourish your body. And then with the exhale, you are releasing and allowing everything to just fall away and letting it all go. The inhale and the exhale is a metaphor for this concept, this principle of parigraha. For as you take in with the inhale, you trust and you believe and you know the nourishment that you need to live a life full of celebration, joy, and freedom is provided. And with your exhale, you let everything go. Not attaching, not clinging, not possessing anything. And inviting in new experiences, new opportunities, new ways to experience the sacred, the divine, the joy of life. So as we allow the inhale and the exhale only to be our guides and our support and our direction as we move through life. Allow it to be your example of how to live from a state of aparigraha. Taking it all in, experiencing its fullness, its greatness, its power. And then letting it all go to be receptive and open to what new is to come. So allow the inhale and the exhale to take you deeper into the quiet of you. Celebrating you, celebrating the sacredness of life, the life that you live right here, right now. Honoring and staying in gratitude for all that's beautiful and awe-inspiring and magnificent in your life. And also expressing thanks and gratitude for the opportunities that yet await you, the experiences to come. Be in the stillness, in this moment of celebration. And when the time has come for us to begin our flow, our practice, I will be here to guide us out. So, as we begin to flow on the mat, moving into our gentle asana practice, I invite you to bring this sense of joy, this sense of freedom, this sense of celebration that you have cultivated in the quiet. Bring it with you as we begin to move on the mat. Again, allowing your friend, deep breath, to guide and direct you as you move through the flow, as you move through our practice. So wherever you are, I invite you to come to the top of your mat in an easy seat, if you're not already there. Your easy seat can look like whatever it needs to look like for you. It can be crisscross applesauce. It can be half lotus, whatever feels right. Move into that now. And we're simply just going to begin with some head circles. rolling that head clockwise or counterclockwise. Allowing your neck to stretch fully down to the side, back, and around. Releasing any tension, stress that you may be holding. And the next time you come down to center, reverse your direction and move your head in the opposite direction. Again, allowing that head to fully fall to where it needs to fall. Experience the release and the stretch. The next time you come around to center, bring your head up, gaze out, and turn your head to look over your right shoulder from the center. Look over your left shoulder from the center. Right, center, left, center. Drop your head back, center, chin to chest, center. Head back, center, drop forward, center. From here, bring those shoulders up to your ears and drop them down. Bring them forward up to your ears, circle them down. One more time, up and down. Now from here, circle the shoulders back, up to your ears, front and down. Back, up, front and down. In, circle it one more time, and then find some stillness. From here, you can do body circles or body rolls, however that feels best for you. So you can bring yourself forward, around to your right, holding onto your knees, release back, and then to your left. Right, back, side, front, right, back, side. Now circle the opposite direction, left, back, right, front, continue. And then this last circle, once you arrive at the front, come back up to center. From here, drop your hands to the earth and inhale them up. Palms facing into one another, gaze up to the sky. And then from your exhale, twisting to your right, allowing the right hand to fall behind you, the left hand to come to that right knee. Inhale, grow tall through your spine, and exhale with your core, twisting to the right. Release that twist. Inhale that right arm up. And exhale, laying over to the left. Open that heart up to the right side of the room, bringing that right shoulder back, and bring that gaze up to the sky. Feeling that stretch in your right side body. Release that right hand down to the earth, and release the left hand down as well. From here, inhale those arms up, gaze to follow, and exhale, twist over to the left, dropping that left hand behind you, bringing that right hand to that left knee. Inhale, go tall through the spine. Exhale, twist to the left using that core. The twist comes from the center, from the core of your belly, not from your neck. Release that twist. Inhale that left arm up to the sky. Exhale, lean over to the right, opening up that chest to the left side of the room, rolling that left shoulder back, bringing that gaze up to the sky. Release that left hand down and bring the right hand to the right side. From here, bring your arms out to a T and give yourself a big hug, bringing that right arm underneath the left. And you can stay right here in this hug if you would like, or you can begin to bring those forearms together, moving into your arms wrapped this pose here. And from here, you can wrap that right hand around that left wrist. And you can stay here. Or if you would like, you can begin to shift those elbows out and lift those elbows up, bringing your gaze up to feel the stretch in your back and those shoulder blades. And then from here, bring those elbows into your torso, round over in that spine, bringing that gaze down. Coming back to the center with your eagle arms and release out to your T. This time, give yourself a big bear hug with the left arm underneath. And again, you can stay here in your bear hug, or you have the option to move into eagle arms, bringing those forearms together, allowing the left hand to wrap around that right arm wherever it's comfortable. And wherever you are, either in that hug or those eagle arms, move those elbows out and lift them up to the sky with the gaze to follow. Allowing, if you can, those shoulders to move away from those ears, so that you really can experience that stretch in those shoulder blades. And then release, rounding in that spine, bringing those elbows in to your torso. Come back up to the center. release those arms out to a T and bring the hands down to your knees. From here, we'll move into seated cat-cow. So inhale, using your hands, guide that heart forward. Bring your chin up towards the sky, eyes to follow. And exhale, pushing with those hands round in your spine. Bring that chin into your chest. Your gaze down to the mat. Pull that heart forward with your inhale. Bring your gaze up. And then exhale, round in that spine. Gaze down. Come back into center. And from here, I invite you to make your way into tabletop. And you can do so in the way that is easiest and most comfortable for you. Perhaps that's rolling over those legs, bringing those legs to either side. But whenever you arrive in your tabletop, those wrists are directly under your shoulders. Those knees are underneath your hips. Those legs are hip width distance apart. You are pushing up through the palms of those hands, and that back is flat. Gaze is down to the earth. From here, once you arrive in the tabletop, I invite you to bring that right shoulder blade, crunch it over as if you're trying to bring the right shoulder blade and the right hip together, and look over that right shoulder. Experiencing the crunch in your right side and the stretch and expansiveness in your left. Come back into center. And from here, extend that right leg long, toes on the earth, and begin to rock yourself back and forth to experience that stretch in your right shin. Maybe holding back, pushing through the heels of your hands to sit in that shin stretch. Release, and from here, lift that right leg up and cross it over the left, bringing those right toes to rest off of the mat to the left side. And from here, you're going to look over your left shoulder back towards those right toes, experiencing the crunch in the left side of your body and the stretch in your right. Bring your gaze back to center and bring that right leg back, toes on the earth. Release that right heel down to the ground. Kickstand that left leg so that the left foot comes off of the mat to the left. And from here, you're going to slowly begin to lift up off of that right hand, bringing it through your chest and releasing it up towards the ceiling, opening up in the kneeling side plank. From here, you're going to drop that hand down to the back of the mat, circle it down, bring it up towards the top of the mat, and then bring it up to the sky. Again, moving clockwise, drop it back, the back of the mat, down, the top of the mat, and then up to the sky. We'll reverse. Move it to 9, 6, 3, and noon, or 12. Do that one more time. Arrive back at the top. Release that right hand down to the earth. Pivot that left foot back in so it's underneath you. Come back up onto your right toes. And then bring that right knee back underneath you, coming back into your tabletop. From here, extend that left leg back, coming onto your left toes, and begin to rock back and forth. Waking up that left leg, slowly stretching out that left shin. And when you're ready, push yourself back through the heels of your hands and hold in that shin stretch. Release and lift that left leg up, crossing it over the right, bringing it off of the mat to the right. And then begin to look over that right shoulder, back at your left toes, moving into this stretch, crunch on the right side of the body, extension on the left. Bring your gaze back to center. Uncross that left leg, bringing it back into center, but keeping it extended. Release that left heel down to the ground. Kickstand that right leg so that the toes come to the right side of your mat. Push down through that right palm and begin to lift that left hand up to the sky, coming into your kneeling side plank. From here, sweep that arm down to 9 o'clock, drop it to 6, move up to 3, and then back up to the top. Let's do that one more time. When you arrive at 12, sweep yourself back clockwise this time. Moving through that arm sweep twice. And when you come back up to the top, release that left hand down to the earth. Bring that right leg back in. And then release that left knee back to the earth, coming into your tabletop. From here, tuck in those toes and lift those hips up and back, moving into downward facing dog. Now you always have the option to come into tabletop if downward facing dog is not your jam. This is your practice. Everything that I offer are invitations. You have the right to accept or decline. From here, bend in those knees. Bring your gaze forward. And slowly walk those hands up to center. Coming to the top of your mat in a forward fold. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, slowly circling those hands up to the sky, coming into high mountain, palms facing into one another, gaze up to the sky. Exhale, bring those palms together and release those hands down to heart center. Circle those arms up to the sky in high mountain. Bend in those knees with your exhale, sweeping those arms down, coming into your forward fold. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale to a forward fold. Plant your hands into the earth and step that left foot back, coming into a low runner's lunge. From here, begin to walk your hands around to the left side of your mat, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Allow yourself to release, bringing the crown of your head down towards the mat, coming into the balls of your feet in this wide-legged forward fold, feeling the stretch in those hamstrings. Push yourself back up to a flat back. Bring those heels in to center, toes facing out. And then begin to walk your hands up to your knees, coming into a slight guys pose. Don't have to go deep. We're doing a gentle practice. In this guys pose with your hands at your knees. From here, drop that right shoulder down, looking over the left. Come back into center. Drop that left shoulder down, looking over the right. Come back into center. And from here, stand yourself up, coming into your star pose. And then from here, begin to rotate that top foot, bending in that front knee, coming into your warrior two. So that front leg is bent, knee stacked over the ankle, back leg is straight. Perhaps you have those toes angled. Your hips open up to the left side of your body, your torso stacked over those hips. And those hands may be on your waist, or you may have them out to a T with your gaze out over the front of them. Flip that front palm and lift that right arm up and back, allowing the left hand to fall somewhere, either on your back or your left leg, to come into reverse warrior. And then from here, cartwheel those hands down to the earth, coming back into that low runner's lunge. Drop that back knee, untuck the back toes, and shift those hips back, straightening in that front leg, flexing that front foot to move into half splits. Shine that heart forward, and then release yourself down towards that right thigh. From here, push yourself back up. Bend back in that right leg. Come up onto those left toes. Lift that left knee off of the earth. And step that left foot forward, coming back into your forward fold. Plant those hands into the earth. Step that right foot back, coming into your low runner's lunge. Walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. And release down into your wide-legged forward fold. Push yourself back up into a halfway lift in your wide forward fold here. Bring those heels in, toes out. Begin to walk yourself up, bringing those hands to your knees and bending into a slight goddess squat. From here, to dip that left shoulder down, looking over the right. Come back into center. Dip that left shoulder down. Excuse that right shoulder down, looking over the left. Come back into center. And then stand ourselves up into a star pose. And open ourselves up into warrior two. Flip that front palm. Lift it up and back, coming into your reverse warrior. Cartwheel those hands down to the earth. Coming into a low runner's lunge. Drop the right knee, untuck the right toes. Begin to sit the hips back, stacking them over your left knee, your right knee, and extend that left leg long, flexing that left foot, and move into your half splits. Inhale, shine that heart forward, and exhale, release. Push yourself back up. Bend in that left leg. And then from here, come back into your tabletop. Bring those big toes into touch. And sit those hips back and down. Releasing your forehead to the block, to the mat, to a bolster, whatever's most comfortable. Release into your child's pose. From here, begin to slide yourself forward, coming down onto your belly. Bring your hands off of the mat. So your arms are wide, your fingers are spread, your elbows are stacked over your wrist. Inhale, lift yourself up into a cobra, a wide arm cobra. And from here, dip that right shoulder down, look over your left. Come back into center. And dip that left shoulder down, looking over your right. Come back to center, shining that heart forward. And then release. From here, roll onto your back. And once you arrive, bring those knees into your chest. Perhaps rocking back and forth on that spine. Releasing that back. And then eventually find stillness. And move into a final position of your choice. That can be waterfall, with your legs extend up to the sky. That could be happy baby, bending in your knees, bringing those legs out wide, moving those knees towards your armpits, grabbing hold of your leg, your ankle, or your foot, and pulling down so that your back rests on the earth. You can rock in your happy baby. You can extend those legs long. Move into the last round of breath in this final pose before we move into Shavasana. Once you are satiated in this final pose, I invite you to move into your version of Shavasana, allowing yourself to release fully into the mat, allowing everything to fall away, and again returning to the stillness and the quiet, to the rest of Shavasana. Maybe that's legs long, arms long on your back. Maybe that's sitting in a chair. Maybe that's constructive rest pose. But whatever it is, move into it. Move into yourself. Allow the inhale and the exhale to guide you within, moving you back into that place of gratitude for the magnificence, the greatness of life. Celebrating who you are, celebrating what you have experienced and what's to come. Sit in this glory, this magnificence. And when the time has come for us to end our practice, I will guide us out at that time. So if you desire to sit in this place of celebration, of this place of honoring who you are, honoring your experiences, allowing the breath to be your guide, not only in this present moment, but to be a guide and example to you of how to practice aparigraha, then stay right where you are. But if you are ready to move on with your Sunday, I invite you to begin to bring movement back into your body, wiggling those toes, those fingers, bending in those legs and those arms, maybe nodding the head back and forth, stretching long, or maybe curling up in a ball. Whenever you have experienced enough awareness of movement in your body, You can roll over to your favorite side, moving into fetal position, cradling your head with your bottom arm, resting the top hand into the earth. And then when you're ready, push yourself up into a seated position. Bring your hands to rest wherever that's comfortable. Maybe that's on your knees. Maybe that's hands at heart center. Maybe that's hands at third eye. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to lead you in today's practice. A practice where we stood in celebration, where we stood in appreciation and gratitude for our lives and for the all that is yet to come. And a practice where we allowed our ally, our friend, the breath, to be our guide in this experience and to be the example of how to live from a state of aparigraha, or non-possessiveness. The divine light and teacher in me honors, celebrates the light, the divine light, love, and teacher in you. And I close tonight's practice with a shade, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Our camera's doing some wonky stuff, but you should hopefully be able to see us on the other one. But we do appreciate you all being here and celebrating yourselves with us this afternoon. Are there any questions that you all have before we conclude today's practice?
No questions. I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. We appreciate you being here. Is it Chaz?
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Chaz. We appreciate you and Nikki so much. And we are happy to stand in this space and this place with you today.
I also wanted to just say thank you so much for sharing your beautiful energy with us.
Thank you, Nikki. So good to see you again. We do this every month, so we will be right back here, same bat time, same bat channel, and it's the same Zoom link for November and December. I think it's going to be November the 5th or 6th, whatever the first Sundays of the month are going to be. So if you save this, you can join us. It's 1 to 2 CST, so we'll be here then.
Great.
All right. Thank you all.
Bye, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was excellent. Loved it.
Great.
Beautiful souls.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.